What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. I'm your girl, Lady, and the Chef, joined by my co-host.
D Black's 21. What's up?
It's great because we're actually live in person with each other.
Together.
Yeah, so this is a first. So salute to everybody this morning. Thank you for joining us. I see in the chat you guys have joined us early. Sorry about the delay. Salute to Walter Blackman. He said, "Good morning, ladies. Finally, it's game day. Our Knicks will be ready for today's game." Agreed. Um, I am definitely looking forward to today's game. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, I'm excited. I know most Knicks fans are excited about the game
No,
today.
every Knicks fan. Most, man. It's just not Knicks fans. I believe that this is gonna be like one of the most watched games
Mhm.
because it's not a I guess it's kind of a redemption because I was reading an article with Brunson how he went back to his college days and just that game last year with Miami, how he had that turnover in game 6. So, I mean, and Knicks fans, they all over. They not in just New York, that Knicks fandom goes, it follows you. Don't matter what state you're in.
Right.
So this is gonna be like really electrifying. That garden, man, is gonna be on fire, man. Like Tracy Morgan said, it's gonna be on fire, and it is.
I agree. Yeah. Salute to Corey Lee. Salute to Dwayne also for joining us and Walter Blackman. I know I already mentioned him, but salute to you, gentlemen. Corey Lee said, "Ladies, Tibbs has had about 5 days to plan, 5 days to game plan for this team, and every one of our players are more than ready. Now, all we have to do is execute the game plan. Now, understand that Tibbs' game plan and our game plan, ours. Yeah, I agree, Corey. I think that week of rest definitely did the Knicks players some justice. I think it was needed. And I also think from a mental standpoint, it gave players time to reflect of what's ahead, to realize that we got to lock in. And, you know, even Tracy Morgan said it on that interview yesterday on ESPN, like the Knicks need to be ready and be locked in and have to want it more. And that's something that I've been saying over and over and over on this podcast is that the Knicks have to want it more. And if they want it more on top of playing smart, on top of playing aggressive, on top of playing, just well with each other and playing together, the Knicks can go far in this playoff. So I think that, and also with Tibbs, I think it's not just the players, the Knicks players that it's going to take. It's also going to take Tibbs and his rotations.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be a key point for the Knicks.
But that's what I like because we do have, that rotation. Like, we definitely, Mitch is gonna definitely come to give iHeart that break.
Hmm.
And then you got a Chew. I'm quite sure he's gonna be utilized, just to again, just to throw different looks and different bodies at Embiid or whoever he's guarding. And the Knicks are in position to, their matchup is just right now they can again they match up with any team that's on that floor. So that's not an issue. But there is such thing as over planning because they have so many days rest. Just to plan. You know, you don't want that to be like, oh, well, just like it's a thing of over planning and then like just overthinking things.
Right.
So let's just hope that they didn't overplan. And but at the and again the positive that again these guys got time to clear their heads, get right mentally, physically. And Mitch, he said I'm turning off social media. So
Right.
that's a way for him to get locked in. And if that's what it takes, then so be. So you can be game ready because we all know this playoffs, like we all say, it's a different animal and it brings out the best of the best.
Right.
So I mean, and just Tibbs, he's one of those coaches like he's like you play to win, and this is what they're gonna do, play to win.
Exactly.
Anything less, it will be disappointing, especially and I definitely they don't take game 1.
Right.
I think it's important that they definitely take this game, and they got to come out the aggressor. I mean, and I believe that they will.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's several keys that's going to be needed for the Knicks to win this game.
Oh,
Um, and I know I'll start off with the keys for me. One of them is definitely speed. I think the Knicks are going to have to come out and play um, with a high level of speed. I think you can really outbeat Philadelphia if you play them with speed because Embiid is hurt.
yeah.
He's limpy and
Mm-hmm.
gimpy. So I think that he doesn't have his footing. He's not all the way healthy. And you know what? I don't even want to bank on him just being at 70% healthy because
Exactly.
he could come out and look 85%. And even with him at 75%, Embiid's numbers showed as
Because
if he was at 100%.
and you got to realize when he came back April 3rd, they won all six of those games since he came back.
Right,
So he wasn't 100% then. So that's why you can't like bank on that because they won those six games for a reason. They didn't win them because oh he wasn't yeah he wasn't 100%, but he was good enough for them to win those six to go on that 6 game tear
right.
and to stay within the play in. So that speaks for his play and where he's at. So again, you can't get locked in on that and focus too much on that. But go ahead. Yeah, it's definitely speed.
Yeah, for sure. It's speed. I think, and with the speed, I think it's going to take the Knicks starting off the game at a good pace and not having a slow start
Yep.
because the Knicks do not want to have to play catch
Catch.
up or allow the game to be a back and forth game where the Knicks are scoring, Philly scores, the Knicks score, Philly scores. I think that's key. Also, I think the supporting cast guys, anyone who's not named Jalen Brunson, needs to be prepared to step up. If he goes to the bench, I think Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, both Mitch and Isaiah Hartenstein, as well as Precious Achua, they're going to have to be, and OG Ananobi are going to have to be ready to step up. I think the other two guys who I'm mainly looking to step up is OG Ananobi and Josh Hart. I would even add Dante DiVincenzo in that mix as well. But I think if those guys can stay, I don't even need necessarily mean they need to drop 12, 13, 14 points. But I think if they do the other little things and lock in defensively, we will win that game. And then if you have X factors like Deuce McBride and Bojan come
Yeah.
through with the shooting, we can hurt them. But I think contrary to that, on a defensive end, the Knicks need to watch out. I don't mean just for Embiid. They're gonna have to watch out for Oubre, Kyle Lowry, Buddy Hield, Batum. You gotta watch out for those guys because a lot of them are catch and shoot players like a Deuce McBride, like a Josh Hart. So when teams sleep on our guys who do that well, it hurts them. The Knicks need to worry about that as well. You can't, yes, you need to watch out for Embiid. You could play defense as well as you want on Embiid, but guess what? He's still going to manage to score, right? But I think that it's going to take the Knicks playing really good defense against these other guys on Philly. Even Tobias Harris, Oubre could be kind of streaky, but
Yeah.
within this series, you could have one game where they're quiet and another game where they're on. And I think it's key that the Knicks don't allow players or that one or two guys from Philly who are not known to score a bunch of points to magically have a bunch of points against them, especially in the Garden. And I think it's important that the Knicks protect home court, even though they have it. But while you're home at the Garden, win those games. It's key. And I want to see the Knicks really try to capitalize on getting as many wins, or rather starting off the series right and try to take at least the first two games, first three. And even if you do take those first two or three games and win them, don't lax and think just because you're up and now you allow Philly to regain momentum by winning the next two games, which is going to hurt you at the end. So I think defensively, the presence has to be there for the Knicks. I want to see the Knicks have like really aggressive defense and be on Philly like white on rice. Not even just Embiid. I want to see Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein make it hard for Hartenstein to get the ball. Make him work to get that ball on the post because I know you were mentioning it the other day. Once Embiid gets that ball on the post, now you made it a little easier for him to get to his spot, plant where he wants to get and go to work. Whereas rather if you're, trying to put that arm out in front of him. And this is what OG Ananobi, the clip we played the other day, this is what he was trying to say, what he plans on doing is like, use my defensive hands as an option, as a weapon
Yeah.
defensively. So this way, it makes it tough and it makes it harder for them. And I also think the other thing is the rebounding is going to be important. Um, Philly will be a fool if they leave Josh Hart and don't box him out because he's great at rebounding. But I think it's going to also take a collective effort because if the ball gets tapped out, whether that's by Embiid, whether that's by
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson, you need those guards who's standing out on a perimeter. If you're a Knicks player, grab the ball. I don't want to see you watching it. Grab the ball. And I just think it's the timing of things, the decision making. The basketball IQ is going to need to be there throughout the playoffs itself, period. You know, not even just for this series, but just in general. So I'm just looking for the Knicks to really go ahead and really be aggressive, because I think one thing that the Knicks as a whole, and I know you were talking about Jalen Brunson's Tribune article that I saw in the Tribune, his letter
Oh,
that he wrote to the fans, to the New York fans. I think for him, and I said this, I don't know if it was the last podcast or the podcast before, Jalen Brunson doesn't forget that Miami series and that last play when he turned the ball over.
yeah.
That stung him. And I even saw his face at that game. He was like disappointed himself, like, how the hell did I do that? And that for him was a lesson learned. And I also know and I hope that it's a lesson learned for everyone else on that Knicks team to realize, like, you had Miami. But I think that it's also a lesson just for this series in general that you got to play aggressive. You got to want it more. The way Miami was real scrappy and more aggressive and gritty, I want to see that
Seeing
from the Knicks
Knicks.
against Philly this not just tonight but the entire series. Don't take your foot off their necks. You got to stay aggressive whether you're playing at MSG or you're playing in Philly. I want to see the Knicks be very aggressive against them and just go all out and like I said protect the ball. I want to keep the turnovers at a loss. And actually, I believe Philly is ranked pretty high in turnovers. I think they're like 20th or something, and the
Yeah,
Knicks are
something
like
like that.
only fifth. So take advantage of that. If you get the steal, let's make the bucket. But I also think it's going to be crucial to try if the Knicks can. I haven't really seen the Knicks do this much throughout the season, but if they can, try to get Philly in foul
Yeah.
trouble. Try to stop the clock. Even if you're up, get these guys in foul trouble. Take advantage in the first half. Try to get players with at least 3 fouls. You know what I mean? So this way, now Nick Nurse got to worry about sitting some guys down. So I just want to see the Knicks play a smart game at the same time. Don't make this harder for yourself. I don't want this to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be a sweep, but the Knicks are more than capable of beating Philadelphia compared to what people out there are thinking that the Knicks. A lot of people have the Knicks losing this series, which is crazy to me.
Well, the Knicks never get respect. But for me, one of the there's a few keys. You know, defensively guard that perimeter. And B, he can hit the three.
Hmm.
So he don't mind standing out there, and he it's like he sort of tests you, or dare you to come out there.
Hmm.
So he can hit the three, and then if he doesn't feel like it's there, he can also dish it out. You got Batum out there. Cameron Payne, or he may come off the bench and try to be that spark. So at any given moment, someone's going to be that spark for Philly, and just rebounds, like that's going to definitely be key because we know Joel, he averages a double double.
Hmm.
So all yeah, he's hurt, but he's still, that Miami game he showed he got what, 15 rebounds or whatever. So you can't rely on where he's at health wise. He's still gonna rebound and again do what he can for his team. And just like that help defense, they're gonna blitz Brunson. He's definitely gonna need, that support, supporting cast, be open. And OG's good with that, just like that help, I heart with just the back door. So and he has great passing. So like these are the Knicks are gonna, have to hone on things. And this is why that this layoff, that 5 day, it gave them a lot of chance to watch film,
Agreed.
study plays, And just study over. See, Philly, they were at a disadvantage because they just won. So the Knicks are at an advantage. So it gives them, a lot of time to reflect. But just and the turnovers, which they that one, what was that? The Bulls, they had 21. But prior to that, they were, try to keep it at a minimum. But again, these are, watch their turnovers. But just, and frustrate, B. Don't let them get
Exactly.
comfortable.
Exactly.
Um, you know, make it uncomfortable for him. Don't let him get down low and post, and because now, I heart does a pretty a good job, just posting and defending. But Philly's like, and speed. Maxi, he's a quick guard. Then that's not concern really. I know OG, could defend, but just his quickness. Maxi, he's a quick guard, and um,
But I think McBride should be guarding Maxi.
I said that too,
I
because McBride is fast too.
Yeah, he can keep up with him, and his defensive presence and
Yeah,
the intensity is there to be able to keep up with him. And as long as Ms. McBride doesn't play defense with his chest, sometimes he
yeah,
forgets to move his feet, which he does
mhm,
like 95% of the time. But sometimes McBride will play defense with his chest. As long as McBride keeps moving his feet, he can keep up and don't get in foul trouble.
yeah,
Because I think that's the key too. That the same way we're asking for the Knicks to get Philly in foul trouble, they're going to try to do that against especially Hartenstein and Mitch to take them out. So this way they don't have that five big, with the height presence to grab the rebounds and be a presence in the paint. They're gonna try to do that and try to get Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Brunson in foul trouble if they can. So I think that those things are all like really key. But I think that McBride should be playing defense against Maxi, and Tibbs needs to make sure he owns in on that adjustment. I think it's going to be. It's not that no one else could guard Maxi, but I think that that's the better matchup.
yeah. Speed for speed wise, anyway.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the better matchup. Dwayne said, "Lady, do you
Who
see Bogdanovich having a good series because he is key?" Yeah, I
I do.
mean, you know what? I sounded like I was being harsh on Bogdanovich when I said someone brought about his wrist
Oh yeah,
being
yeah.
a
The last
problem.
part.
And I did notice, I don't know what game it was. Was it the Chicago game? And he did have it wrapped. I
Yeah,
noticed he had his wrist wrapped because I was like, why are his wrists wrapped? But as long as Bogdanovich doesn't camp out in one spot and he could somehow manage to get free from the defense, and we know he can knock down the shots, right? Bogdanovich can for certain be an X factor for the Knicks during this playoff series. Because I don't think that I think Philly's gonna be prepared for the Knicks to shoot the threes. They know the Knicks have different weapons.
yeah,
But I think if the
mhm,
Knicks can learn to play an inside outside game and kind of toggle between both, that's what's gonna frustrate Philly and throw them off guard because they're not gonna be expecting that. But if the Knicks just play one style or one way, which is just mainly we're just gonna just shoot threes and shoot the lights out, sure, it's great if you're making them, but I think it becomes readable for the defense if they notice that you're just shooting threes all the time or just shooting shots. But if the Knicks can kind of mix it up between guys cutting in and Hartenstein can make the pass and you can or guys driving in and then kicking out the pass, then sure you can have guys like Bogdanovich who can make those shots for us that are going to be crucial. Or you can have McBride who's out in the corner as well, give him the ball, throw him the ball out, and he'll be able to knock down those shots. But Bogdanovich, for sure, I think he is crucial for this series because he'll be that X factor, kind of like what Batum did for Philly
yeah,
against
hmm,
Miami. They weren't expecting him to do that. And Bogdanovich, like Batum, could knock down the shot.
yeah.
He could hit the
He could,
shot.
yeah,
So I think he for sure is going to be that X factor. He's going to be key for this Knicks to win. And I think McBride is also in that same category because McBride, I think teams will sleep on him. Even though they know McBride can shoot, but they're gonna and Josh Hart too. I think teams Philly's gonna be daring him to shoot because I think yes, Josh Hart can knock down the shot, but I don't think I think Josh is going to need to be aggressive in that right and take the shot, not. I think he needs to do it a little bit more often throughout the games,
Yeah,
throughout the
and not be
series.
passive. Yeah, cause
Yeah,
yeah,
because he has those moments where he's a little passive and then he just and then if you're not gonna shoot it, Josh, okay, great, drive, drive to the basket. I think driving to the basket will help him out a lot. So I think that yeah, Bogdanovich for sure is going to be a huge key for this Knicks team. Corey Lee said the aggressiveness and all that you're talking about has to come from McBride and the rest of the bench pieces. Yeah, the supporting cast.
yeah, and Precious too. I mean, I think he's gonna definitely get some minutes because he can be used as that extra body to possibly, double, Embiid, and again, because Embiid, he's one of those type of players, again, he's going to get his, and he's going to will his team, but if you can just throw different looks at him, he can get frustrated. So I think Precious, we're going to need that. Remember that game? Precious had that big game in New York, and he was like, "Oh, he's glad New York embraced him or whatever
Hmm.
because I grew up here." That's the Precious we're gonna need today. You're
Yeah,
you're at home,
yeah,
like you said, you grew up. This is you're from the Bronx, so he's from the Bronx, right?
yeah. I believe
Yeah.
so.
So again, and you're gonna have the crowd's gonna be behind the Knicks all the way. So and just the momentum is on their side. So we're gonna definitely need for Precious, to be a X factor too. For whatever minutes he play, you're gonna need to maximize it.
Yeah, I agree. Um, wow, you have them at four
For
and
no.
zero. You don't even have Philly winning a game. That's Listen. I love the surety there. The him being very confident in the Knicks
Yeah, the
and
confidence. I mean, me personally, I mean, I would definitely say 4-0, but I know Philly's not going to go down for whatever reason.
yeah,
They're going to definitely take 1 or 2. So that's why me personally, I have the Knicks at 4-2. I don't think it's definitely going to go to a 7-game
yeah.
series,
I don't
but I
either.
definitely have them at 4-2. And I'm gonna stick with that. I mean, I'm a confident, Knicks, play a fan, but I'm gonna go 4-2.
Yeah. So where do you think that 1 or 2 game, or rather that first game, may slip up? Do you think the Knicks will be able to at least take the first 2 games and win them at least?
Yeah, the Knicks is gonna. I have them taking the first 2. Philly possibly 3, game 3. Knicks possibly game 4, and now the Knicks come back home and
Try
they
to.
just close it out. So that's why I have them. And or it could be 4-1.
Right.
I can rock with that 4-1. Philly win that one game and the Knicks win game 3 and 4.
Hmm.
So they take 1, 2. Excuse me, they take game 4 and 5. So Philly take 3, the Knicks take. So I can even go with 4-1.
Yeah. When you go up and think of matchups, let's talk about the matchups really quickly. So Embiid, you'll have either
Oh,
Hartenstein
for
or
sure.
Mitch on Embiid,
Hmm.
and then you'll have Kelly Oubre. I don't know if they would have OG on him.
Probably so, cause Kelly Uber, he's like like they would liken him to like a Dylan, but not as as scrappy as someone like a Dylan. What's his name? Dylan the Bill. They named the what's his name from Houston, but just overall, I
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. Yeah, overall, I mean, I think that that would be someone that can definitely shut Uber because he's another could be that X factor. Um, um, so for them, and Batum, I definitely like that's someone possibly Josh Hart can guard. He has him a little bit overhyped, but I think just for like matchup wise, I have OG like on Ubre or and to even Tobias, but definitely I would put him on somebody like a when in the time like a Tobias and even switch over, and see how that match up with Max, which I don't know how well that's gonna play out. Because Max he's shorter, he's quicker.
Who do
That
you have on Maxi?
I would put, well, they're gonna probably have Dante on them. I don't know how, and Dante, he's quick though. I would,
No, I think Dante can max up.
yeah,
I thought Dante gave Maxi a little bit of trouble during
yeah,
the series, so I think definitely. So all right, we'll say for Maxi it'll be Dante or it'll be McBride.
McBride.
Tobias Harris it'll be OG or either
Uh-huh.
Josh Hart.
Hmm.
Kyle Lowry, what Brunson?
Yeah, y'all definitely
Brunson,
do.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then Buddy Hield to come off the bench. So I don't I guess that would be probably either Precious or either OG if he's in.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then Kelly Oubre would be OG.
Yeah, I could see because he's again he tries to guess that every team needs a villain for the most part.
Right.
So I would definitely see OG on him, and then and Hartenstein or Mitch on MB, but then with some help. Um, yeah, that's the matchup. Um, you definitely, Kyle Lowry, he's a vet. Um,
You gotta watch him.
for sure. He's a vet and he has that experience under his belt. His age don't, yeah, he's older, but he's still a vet nonetheless.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. No one's worried about Paul Reed
Man,
because he's a no name and nobody really cares who's just
he's just trying to
speaking.
play psychological warfare. It's not working, buddy.
Exactly. Salute Jay Boogie. He said, "Good morning, blessings, health, happiness." Shout out to the
Salute.
Knicks family's time. April is here, but I need June 16th. More victories this season. Salute, salute, salute. Three capital S's. Yes, I agree. I mean, but right now, I think we're just gonna worry about taking it one game at a time, one series at a time. But I definitely have the Knicks being able to defeat, um, for sure, being able to defeat Philadelphia.
And you know what? Also, it kind of sort of I know it will be motivation for the Knicks, just like they're constantly getting snubbed. With DiVincenzo. He missed out on the most improved player award because
Mhm.
of one game. So again, they don't like to bring those things up, but things like that weigh on them, in some form. And again, it's just fuel for them, and then to stay locked in and to continue moving forward. Brunson, he was snubbed from out of the All Star for representing USA. So it just helps overall. Tibbs not being even considered for Coach of the Year. We know he should be up there with Nick Nurse and Spolstra, and even the Magic coach. So we know he should be somewhere in the conversation, but for whatever reason, but they have, like I said, bigger fish to fry, and that
Right.
that that ring is more, I guess, and it's more important,
And
on
the
the other
accolades.
accolades.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
they could keep snubbing them, and because they know as a team they have that chemistry there,
Uh-huh.
and their identity, and just the scrappiness of where they are, like Josh Howard said, we fight, we scrap, we crawl, and which they do. That's their identity, and so this is what fuels them. Matchup wise, the Knicks can they can hold their own against Philly. So I that's why I have them at 4-2, which I should change it to 4-1, but I'll keep it 4-2.
Yeah. Um, I think part of the reason why, and I know we talked about this, but the Knicks don't get any accolades or anything like that is because the Knicks are one not known as a playoff bound team. The Knicks have just started to become known as a playoff bound team. And then two, I think it's also because the Knicks haven't really gone anywhere
Hmm.
postseason. So when you haven't really gone far or gone anywhere, there's no respect because people think that you're just really a regular or mediocre team. But we all know, us Knicks fans all know that this team is a lot better than just getting past the regular season. And that's why I think that I agree. Don't focus on the accolades and this, that, and the third. I think what's more important is proving that you didn't make the second seeding for any old reason. I think proving that you are a good team. Even if Julius Randle was healthy and is here, I think that's what's important. Yes, you made it to the second seeding, and some people think it's a fluke because the East wasn't that strong this season. So I
Yeah.
think that the Knicks have to prove not just to the fans, not just to the sports media world, but I think just as an organization that they can be taken seriously. That you can not only just get in the past the first round, you can get past the second round, and you can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and if not more. So the Knicks are better than a lot of these teams out in the East. They just have to, like Tibbs always say, take it one game at a time and take it just series by series. Let's get past Philly. Once we get past them, be ready for the next round. Because I don't think now is the time to, even with this week long break, now is not the time to lose energy or come out with low
Yeah.
energy or lose
Hmm.
gas, or you come out looking defeated and deflated, or you're playing like it's a regular season game. I want to see high energy. I want to see the Knicks look like they didn't lose a step, they didn't lose a beat, from the break, which was well needed. But I think just coming out playing, I don't want it to feel like it's a Sunday game, an afternoon game. I want to see high intensity playoff style basketball, and like we're ready to move forward.
Well, I think this evening game, being that it's a night game, that definitely it plays into their favor because I don't know for whatever reason they don't do well with mid
Early
afternoon
games.
early games. They
Yeah.
just don't. They don't respond.
Hmm.
So I think being that it's an evening game, this is definitely motivation and can help them get off to a great start. So again, they can rest now. Whatever they're going through, shoot around, things like that. So the evening game will definitely help them.
Yeah. I agree. I think that it's a nice time to start and play because I believe the first game started at 1 for
What?
the other Eastern Conference games. I think
Oh,
the
oh
first game was
yeah,
at 1. So thank goodness the Knicks didn't get that early slot.
yeah, right.
Um, and I think that's because the Rangers are playing. So that's how the
Oh
Knicks end up
yeah.
getting around the six
Hmm.
o'clock because they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
Rangers.
Rangers.
Okay. It doesn't make sense.
um,
Kudos to the Rangers. Good
yeah.
luck.
So, but I think this year, like I said, the Knicks have things. They have something to prove. I think they have a story to tell. I think they. I really want. I've seen so many different sports writers and analysts, and commentators, besides like Kendrick Perkins, who have the Knicks not winning this series. And I think that
Yo,
because
Kendrick Perkins.
no, I said aside from
Oh, oh,
Kendrick
side.
Perkins,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of people don't have the Knicks winning this first round against Philly. Most people tend to believe that Philly's the better team because they have Embiid. Who cares? We beat them with Embiid. We beat them without.
Without.
Just like the Knicks have won games without Julius Randle being there, who's their 1B. So I think that's also the biggest story. But I think that the Knicks can carry this momentum. And I think this season, like I said, is so crucial for the Knicks to not just get past this round, but to get past the second round. Because you made it to the second round last year. So I think this year, like I said, it's about growth. And whether we were playing Miami, whether we were playing Boston this first round, this is a true test for the Knicks. It's about growing and going through the growing pains, which all of us Knicks fans have done. But I think that this particular season, the Knicks, to me, I think it's important that they move not just past the first, but also past the second round. And
For
the goal
sure.
should be for sure, yes, it's a championship because that's the end goal. I think everyone on this team is locked in. And I think that part of the way we'll be able to get past that collectively as a team, yes. But I think having the Villanova boys on there helps. With Josh Hart, Dante Brunson have all won championships. They know how each other play. And
Hmm.
yeah, they know how that everyone else, other guys on the team play as well. But I think that when you have that and you know what it takes to move past different rounds, and again, I understand that that was college, this is the NBA, but I think that that helps fuel you to keep going. And again, you didn't get this far for nothing. So I think carrying that momentum in the postseason is so key that you can't all of a sudden like go backwards now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Knicks made the second round, to me, I do believe that yes, it wouldn't just be a disappointment; it would be a failure if the Knicks didn't get out of the first round.
Yeah, same here. And just overall, just the Knicks, their style of play and just playing that physical ball, minus Julius, they were able to, still go on that win and make grab the second seed because of their physicality and being
Hmm.
able to just play, that scrappy ball. Rebounding. These were keys that when Mitch went down, they did have someone to fill that void, and that was Hartenstein, and he's proven, you know, he's able to match up with bigs, and so and we have bigs to that are capable of just withholding and standing firm and playing with other bigs. So just our matchups overall and just where they're at, um that's what's carried them this far. So this is not a fluke. um when they went out west, they got those games, came home, and won games, and so they can match up with any team, because of like the physicality. So this is their style of play, and just defense is one of the things that they pride themselves on. That's what Tibbs preach. He's a defensive minded coach, and
Hmm.
if you can stop a team and then you run your offense, then you're at an advantage. So they nobody didn't roll over and hand the Knicks anything. They worked and they earned those games. And as far as there's something to prove, they got something to prove to themselves. It's not for the fans so much or the media. It's for themselves, and like that that's a brotherhood that they form. So this is why they can advance as far as we always said with Julius, they can only go as far as Julius can take them. When Julius is not there, and so it's unfortunate. Most of it will lie on Brunson's shoulder, but his teammates have to step up,
Yeah.
and support. That supporting cast. These guys gonna have to step up and contribute. And that's one of the reasons how they will advance, with guys just showing up and making an impact, whether it's rebounding, a steal, block. So
Hmm.
this is what they're gonna go far, but Brunson will definitely need much needed help.
Yeah, I think guys will step up
Yeah, for sure.
because they figured out how to win without
Hmm.
Randall. And I think that they have to continue to figure out how to score and keep that momentum, that intensity when Brunson goes to the bench. But overall, the Knicks have figured out how to win, which is fantastic. I think that that's crucial, and that's why they have had such a successful season. Because they figured out how to win. So I just think that the Knicks will be okay, and they'll be able to salute to Dwayne. He said, "My granddaughter got our Brunson jerseys on, ready for war." Yeah, the Knicks are ready for combat. They are definitely, most definitely ready. Salute to Ron and John, that's still Knicks fan. He said, "What's good,
Salute.
Knicks family?" Salute to the chat. Salute to Ziva Loxon, Lady and the Chef. If you guys are not subscribed already, subscribe to Still Knicks fan. I believe he's going on at 11:30. He's on every Saturday, giving you good Knicks content. I think Ron may go on before the Knicks come on. Ron may
All right.
be Ron may be on for it may be a little marathon today. So check him out. He's coming on in about 8 minutes. And subscribe to his channel. Him and Ron do great things over there. They come on Saturdays and again on Mondays, Monday evening. So check them out. And also salute to Corey Lee, and him
The
and his
718
the
boys.
seven. Yeah, they're from the 718 Boys. They come on under the YouTube channel Blood Orange Tears, and they come on every Sunday at 10 a.m. So check them out. Um, Great channel, great mixed content. Look out for them. Do you think that the Knicks, the refs will?
Oh man,
I don't even know how do I word this, but do you think that the
we'll get a
whistle?
fair whistle.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Man, yeah, I just hope so that they can, call it fairly,
Hmm.
because even at home we are not known to get the calls that I guess superstars get for whatever
Hmm.
reason. But I just hope that it's being called fairly, and um, because that's another thing that's going to be crucial.
Yeah,
Just how the refs blow that whistle. You know, and who was going to favor. Call it fairly, and that way we ain't got to question. You know, well, and it got to go to review. I just hope that you know we get some refs that, and these they pick the ones that experienced in the playoffs. But again, that's crucial as how that whistle's going to be blown.
yeah. I agree. I think that for sure. I really don't want to see Knicks players driving in, taking charges, and there's no call. You know what I mean? Like, call it fair, like you said. I'm not
Yeah,
looking for the Knicks to get favoritism because we're home, we made the playoffs. I don't care about that. I just want to see a game being called fairly. And I just want to see the Knicks just go out there and be aggressive enough that you will also get the calls so that the refs see that, okay, well, Philly's not matching their energy, so I'm going to give them the calls. You know what I mean? Because they are playing aggressive. So, but I do think that I don't want that to be an issue as far as the whistle not being called, blown fairly within the series, or I don't want to see the whistle being called too loosely and over ticky tack silly fouls that's like let them play. You know what I mean? Because the Knicks play aggressive. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I don't want to see
Hmm.
that either. And then it's like you ain't even letting them play. Every time you turn around, the whistle's being blown. So we'll see.
Correlate.
We know we know your butcher is coming, Mitch. I mean, we'll see. Is the butcher gonna stamina up there?
Well, Mitch, he turned off all social media, so he should be locked in,
Hmm.
Corey. Hey, he should be locked in and get ready to give us at least about 10 or 12 boards. He should
Yeah,
be able to get it at least minimum.
agreed. Agreed. Yeah, those rebounds are gonna be crucial. And if Hartenstein plays the way he played Philly throughout the 4 games we played them, there should be no reason, no, they didn't have an answer for him. He was able to play them aggressively, get blocks, rebounds. I mean, I think at one of the games, Hartenstein had like 17 points.
Yeah, and like you said, Hartenstein, he'll get dunked on, but guess what? That don't dismay him. He
Exactly.
still come back and he still defends.
Hmm.
So that most players are like they shy away. It's like Hart. That's a challenge for him. So that's one thing in his favor. He don't mind. You could dunk on him and get make the highlight reel. Okay,
Yeah,
but he don't back away. So from
exactly.
things like that, again, that's just a challenge for him.
Exactly. I agree. Salute King Ribby RM. He says, salute ladies. Everyone hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Agreed. You heard the man. Salute Wonder Woman.
Salute,
Salute ladies in the chat for joining us as always. Salute CC. Thank you for joining us. Salute.
salute.
Yeah, I think a big part aside from the shooting and the defense, I think Hartenstein and Mitch are going to be crucial in this series. Those two are going to have to be on point because listen, we all know Embiid is going to be able to give score about 25, 30 points,
Yeah.
right? But he's just one guy. But I think if they can keep up with him physically and box him out, put a body on him, be able to grab boards, make it hard for him to even get to his spots, challenge him when he's out trying to score the 3-pointer. I think if Hartenstein and Mitch can both do that whenever they're in and just make it difficult for Embiid, it will make for a little easier for the other guys on the next team. You know what I mean? So I think it is going to be important that those two play very physical and also dominate on the boards.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
have to be very aggressive. Where I don't want to see, a Harris or Oubre, somebody coming in. I want to see these guys driving in and grabbing the rebounds, being smart about where you're kicking the ball out to, who you throwing the ball out to. And I also want to see the Knicks be able to figure out if Philly decides to apply pressure when we take the ball
Mm.
out.
Mm.
One, not getting it so close to a 5-second violation. So whoever's taking the ball out, they're not going to put the pressure on you and the defender there. They're going to look to put the defender on whoever's taking the ball out on Brunson. So now he's double teamed. And then if you have, for example, maybe Dante DiVincenzo may come up, maybe Hartenstein, or maybe you may have Precious
Precious.
usually comes up.
Hmm.
Like, okay, if you have to bring the ball up, just bring the ball up the half court line at least. You know what I mean? I think sometimes our guys get so focused on trying to get Brunson the ball, which is great, but sometimes you just got to at least just bring it over the half court line and then let's regroup and reset from there and give it to maybe Josh or Dante DiVincenzo if you're Precious Achua or your Isaiah Hartenstein. Get it to a guard who can handle the ball. And now Precious or Hartenstein set that screen so Brunson could get open and get the ball and orchestrate and set us back up and we could regroup. You know what I mean? But I want to see the Knicks be able to figure out how to get that ball out and get the ball inbound in pressure situations. And then if they play zone against us, I don't want to see the Knicks get complacent and get stagnant. Make something happen. Don't just stand around and the ball's going from left and right. Somebody's got to do something,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
that's what uh
Miami.
Miami did with them. They played the zone, and he was still able to to score 23 and at 15, but he had guys, Batum stepped up big time for them.
Mm-hmm.
So he was that X factor for them, and
Right.
all teams have those. They may have two, you know,
Right.
but that's what they gotta be prepared for,
Exactly.
because they will try, they do have those guys. So but again, like they're well prepared though. I'm quite sure Tiz had them draw every play the book. But I think that I know that they're prepared for Philly
Yeah.
offensively and just defensive wise.
Agreed. Have a great show, Ron. Corey Lee said, we need to keep this in mind. The pressure is not on us. The pressure is on Philly. They have last year's MVP. So I see us coming out loose, aggressive, and focused. Yeah. The Knicks needs to just
Hmm.
go out there and also have fun. Like when the Knicks don't overthink it and just don't make it harder for themselves, they can play well against any team. We've seen this where the Knicks just come out and it's just flowing like a globetrotter game. You know what I mean? From the passes to the movement to the extra passes of them being, not selfish and just it works in their favor when the Knicks do that. So yeah, I think Philly does have more pressure. And I think also Philly has pressure because people are expecting Philly to beat New York. So
Yeah,
it's like you can't lose to the Knicks. You know
exactly.
what I
Yeah,
mean? So
so
they
that's
have that
yeah, the
pressure
pressure
on
is
them.
on them. Yeah.
Cece said, I agree on the rest. We got to finish off on our baskets. Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing, too. I think if, like, we have guys like Josh Hart, Dante may go for a drive basket and drive into the lane, or you have Mitch Hartenstein and they. If you're gonna do a second chance points, let's make it.
Yeah.
Like, let's just make it. Let's be one and done, maybe two, and that's it. I don't want to see all of this tippy tip tip and nothing happens, and then Philly gets the rebound. And I really also just pray for good health for this team throughout this series. We don't need any injuries. We can't afford any, and just guys just being locked in and ready. So yeah, that's the Knicks' new mascot.
Yeah.
I know. That's a
Scooter the pup.
Scooter. Yeah, he's the new Knicks mascot. But yeah, we wanted to do a quick show, guys, today. We're excited about the game. It comes on at 6. I'll be locked in before 6.
Yes, me too.
Um, and yeah, I think we'll be back. Maybe we'll do a quick show tomorrow, but we'll definitely, because we don't come back on to Tuesday. But yeah, we'll be back and do
Cool.
some recaps because the Knicks play again on
So,
Monday. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I got the Knicks winning tonight. I think we all do, Knicks family.
that's right.
And let's really go out with a bang with this one for the Knicks. And I believe in this team. I know that they can, and I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun, exciting. This is what we all been waiting for, the playoffs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. But
And the next game is Monday,
yeah,
7:30 at the Garden.
anything else for you before we get out of here?
Now let's go Knicks. You know my mantra. We got this.
Salute to the chat, Walter Blackman for joining us, Dwayne, Corey Lee for always joining us and chiming in, Jay Boogie. We appreciate you, Jay Boogie, for always showing love. Still Knicks fans, Ron and John, salute to both of them. They're actually on now, so check them out. You could leave us and go to Still Knicks fans. I also believe Queen Steph is on as well right now, so you guys could check her out. King Ribby RM, salute to you. Wonder Woman CC, salute to you as well. And to those of you who are not in the chat but watching us live, the replay gang, we appreciate you always for showing us love and support. Do us a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
And
Everyone have
share. Sharing is caring. Share the channel.
Yeah, we'll join you tomorrow. Send us a link. Send us a link so we could talk about this game.
Oh yeah.
So we could break this down. That sounds like a plan. Until next time, everybody, enjoy the game and have a great weekend, and we'll see you all